their advertising.
Oh no, it's got ketchup. What we'll do is we'll finish these and then actually do some podcast related stuff.
I think we should talk about Grinter Street.
We
Because
will.
they are
We will.
the hot topic.
They are the up and coming band of the century. I haven't told anyone we're doing this, by the way. We could get interrupted by everyone.
Usually we're actually much closer to each other
Yeah.
than this when we're performing.
Yeah, we don't need to be this far apart, except for the sticky food reads on the form.
Some bit of cold chicken.
I really do, but it's yours. Is that a butterfly?
It is.
There's a lot of wildlife in here. Mostly spiders. Are you scared of spiders?
No.
That's a good question to ask. Phobia.
I
What's your
love
biggest phobia? Dear.
Biggest phobia. Failure.
Well,
Cold chicken.
I hate to break it to you, Ruby. They haven't taken the poo thing out of that. You know that's where they shit.
There's a stinky bit in there.
Can we swear on this podcast?
I don't know. I don't know who our audience is.
We don't know. Yep.
I think we
It's going
just,
on YouTube. And then the bits.
I think we just don't tick the checkbox that says made for kids. I think
Oh, okay. So
because that's
yeah.
always an option if it's educational, which it's not.
I think
I don't think we've
if it's a 15, you would add 2 shits and a fuck.
Well,
We
that's
completely-
nearly our quota.
No more swearing there.
I'll have one more of the first one.
You didn't get any of them. I feel bad.
This is how it is. Just
This
got to
is so
get,
nice.
just got to
Go
get
on,
in
got to
there.
see if
Yeah,
we
go
can
on.
get-
Yeah.
I've got a starting sequence on the
Mhm.
phone. I can't actually show you. But we'll cue it now.
You're just as bad as me.
Okay, that'll be the transition.
Fitting in a bit of ASMR in this channel. Is that what we're going for? Thank you.
I've only ever heard it called BDSM.
It's not the same thing.
Oh.
And that's our quota used up. No advertising.
Yeah, come on, Penn State. Why are we making a podcast? That's a great idea. Basically, we thought it was a good idea. We actually think that a lot of people come to see us. I think it's probably the bottom line. We thought you'd like to see what we're like in private as well as in public.
We don't
Not
always
much
have the
different,
extra
really.
time to chat around
We don't
here.
have time to chat.
We love to.
This is actually the longest we've spent together where we haven't had a gig.
Yeah.
Normally we just, you pull up, I pull up, we say hi, we load a piano, get in the van, do the gig, come back, put the piano back, then we go. And that's it. Because we're
Yeah.
pros. Really good high five.
That was.
I
was gonna peak all the levels,
Yeah, I'll
but-
just deafen everyone at home. Right, I've got to remember,
Right.
we wrote down a load of questions, didn't we? So one of the questions was, talk about Grinter Street. So where does the name come from was one of the first things.
It might be good to tell people. Yeah.
Right, that was on the list. So the name Grinter Street comes from Grinter Street. It's a place in Tasmania. Shout out to everyone on Grinter Street. Very small amount. That's a very small demographic I'm picking out there.
If they
But,
found us, well done.
yeah. If you're from Grinter Street, can you say on the podcast you get to ask any amount of questions that you like, and we'll answer them for you. My uncle lived there. He died a few years ago from a heart attack. This went morbid quickly. Because when you're going to pick a band name, you've got to pick something that is easy to find on the internet. So actually, when you look for Grinter Street, we do come up straight away. Something that no one else has. And something that sounds good.
Yeah. Something that
Which I
can't
think it
age
does.
badly, something that can't offend anyone over time.
There's that. And
Yes.
and also something that's not topical. I mean, the last duo I was in was called We Three Kings, and you could not find us for bloody Christmas music. It was sort of Boyce Avenue. That's another street name. Do you know who they are?
Boys Avenue.
Clearly they're not as famous as I thought they were. Boyce Avenue. It's actually a covers
Boyce.
band full of dudes that are related.
Full of them. Okay.
Yes, I think it's like 3 dudes who are brothers or
Okay.
family.
New to me.
Anyway, we're not Boyce
I thought it was like
Avenue,
Boys
so
Own. Boys
No,
Avenue.
Boyce, B-O-Y-C. So that's where the name comes from. That's
That's that. Well,
That's it, right, we'll end the podcast there.
thank you for checking it out.
Actually, we should say, if you've got any questions yourselves, you can put them on the comments to this. Put them below. Everyone points down when they say that on podcasts. This will
This
be a
is
clip.
down.
This is a clip
This is the
now.
direction to go down. You better not flip this video upside down after this.
Yeah, comment your questions and we will answer them. What were the other things on our list?
What are we up to? What are we working towards? What are we working on?
We're always working towards something. World domination.
Before that?
Before that, we have got a few steps. Well, we're doing music videos still. People are probably wondering where that is. We do have it. It's not like we didn't lose all the footage. We do have that. We're just editing a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing.
There's a lot of editing. I mean, literally the filming probably took... Well, we only got half an hour in the end, didn't we? Mm-hmm. That's not a lot of time. We actually had... I had to come back on another gig dressed exactly the same. Literally shaved perfectly the same and hair roughly the same. Make sure I knew what jewellery I had on. And do another load of filming because I missed some key parts that I needed to get in.
Yeah.
Same level of fingernail cleanliness.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the keyboard is very different on that video in 2 different shots because I cleaned it between shots because Emma told me off for how dirty it was on the first take.
Oh, man.
She said my granddad would be so upset with me, and she was true. It is true. So that's, I mean, is that an Easter egg? Is that something that you can look out for?
Look out for that. Definitely.
You can look out for different shots because I tried to get everything exactly the same in that second take.
Yeah.
Except there's one key thing that is very noticeable.
Don't tell them.
No, but I want to tell you, so it's going to be funny. The table that the mixing desk is on changes height.
It does change
quite significantly. So in some shots it's up there and some it's down there.
Yeah. It's still growing. It's still growing. It's a real
I think at one point you're standing up behind me as well. That's great. That's fine. We'll be able, the edit won't show these things.
It's more of a thriller than a music video.
It is. It's got a lot
creepy. It's all kinds of things happening in the background, but it's nearly there, isn't it?
It's nearly there. To be honest, it's 90% done. I'm a perfectionist, but I haven't got time to be one. It's kind of a case there. My dad's actually doing the editing, and I'm scrutinising and telling him what to do to change.
Telling him to read it.
Yeah. Anyway, I've told him to edit bits, and he's doing a really good job. So that's in progress. The other progress we've got going on that we told everyone about a year ago about that was coming out at the end of last year that didn't was a Dangerous Man video.
Yeah.
That has now been finished. The video is pretty much done. I think. I haven't actually run it past you yet. I've just realised.
To me.
Yeah. I think I did send you it once. And so I'm going to change this and this. Yeah.
So much news that we're discovering together.
Yeah. Yeah, but the music is the bit that's we're waiting for that because I just remembered again. I think every time we get together I ask you what we're doing with that and you've already told me, Dave, you've got everything, just send it to the producer. That's pretty much what
Yeah.
So I will do that. I may even do that.
That was the other thing that we were deciding between because we wanted to finalise the track and then editing of the music video comes afterwards rather than having to find bits that match the video.
That is true, but in fairness, the music is going to be exactly as it is. It's just going to be EQ'd differently, isn't it? So, I mean, I have no excuse to have not finished doing that, really.
No, that's getting there.
But a shout out to everyone who helped with that video. Thank you. So, Dad's Cameras. We've got Jay. We've got Ian. We've got Will. Shout out to you guys. Do I miss anyone?
No. Not me.
The guy in the chair was me.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
That's actually a song that no one's heard because we've never performed it live.
Easter eggs.
Apart from one time I performed it at the in-gate and Shelley went, boo!
There are some little bits added in that it's going to be a struggle to do live. But we can find a way.
It is. But I've decided that I don't mind that so much. I don't think Coldplay play everything that they have in their songs live. It'd be tracks.
Yeah.
Actually, I know it's tracks because I saw a video the other day of Chris Martin. Someone had fallen over or something in the audience and he wanted to stop it. And he had to run over to the drum and he was like singing perfectly well, doing that, then took a microphone away and then his voice went, Ned.
Wow.
That's rude, man. It's not how you do it. And now we've always got to sing live because I've said that.
Yeah, but I think we can achieve that.
Well, we do. Everything we do
We've
is
never
live.
even suggested the idea of using anything pre-recorded.
That's too hard.
I was very open with when my voice had just packed in with the laryngitis, and it was funny for everyone.
It was.
It was a bit of comedy as well as music. It was just all-round entertainment.
Exactly. I think, to be honest, if I went to... in my opinion, if I went to watch someone live and they were using backing tracks of their own voice and just miming, I'm less impressed. If someone's singing through a cold or singing through laryngitis and still sounds pretty good, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's quite hard to do that. And actually, ultimately, if you're going to pay to watch someone, you want to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I like to hear everything go wrong. Not because I like to feel I'm better than them, it just makes them human.
Yeah.
Good to hear the giggly voices, the enthusiasm.
Thank you,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Yes.
Great.
Woo!
Enthusiastic.
Yeah, cheerio.
Yes!
Oh,
That's another good one.
It was really good. That hurt. That hurt you?
Did, yeah.
That's your guitar picking hand.
That's my important hand.
Well, that was Andrew Giller. He runs this place,
He does.
if it stays in.
We've given a
Should
lot of
I?
shout outs, haven't we, for our
have,
first
yeah.
episode?
Well, we've got to shout out people. We've got to keep the interest up. Should we do shout out of everyone we know and then say
Keeping the
you're
interest
mentioned
up
in
is
this?
talking about everyone else.
Yeah.
Apart from us.
We'll make a list, pages, just where to say shout out to these people from the pub. Then we know we're going to get viewers
Yeah.
because they're going to hold on for that half hour for that moment they're in. The questions are on the phone,
Yeah.
which I wrote on my phone, which we're recording with, and sent to your phone, and we're also recording with that.
I'm also recording with
So actually, the whole plan for this podcast went out the window about 20 minutes ago when we started. So we can discuss. I can't discuss the tour.
No.
Personal news.
Personal news.
That was one of them. What's happening in your life, Ruby?
Oh, this is scary. This is meant to be Grinter Street. What's happening in my life?
There's a chance for the audience to get to know us as people outside of Grinter Street.
Personal.
It is personal. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go on.
I don't know what I've got either. Personal news. Gosh, I'm busy all the time,
Yeah.
as you know.
And I'm not.
We had this idea for a podcast quite a long time ago, and this is the first opportunity we've had. And even now, I'm sweating because I know I've got to go somewhere else immediately after and haven't got time to do anything properly, packing away and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just a dump run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to the tit, not to the loo.
I thought you were describing the podcast as the dump run. Well, that's a really harsh way of
We
referring
do
to
need a
this.
name for the podcast, and if
Dump
it
run.
ends up being the dump run, I've got no problem with that. The dump run podcast.
Dump run.
We'll just always book a dump run after. I think actually what we should do with the podcast, if people enjoy it and like watching us larking around, is we should have it immediately after a gig. So
Yeah.
in-gate, for example, 7 till 9, and then say, look, we're not doing another set. Calm down. Shh. No, we can't do one more song. Like that. And then basically just set up like we are in front of a table and let the audience hound us
Yeah.
while asking
We need a
constructive
live
questions.
audience.
We do need a
Yeah.
live audience, definitely. We need people to bounce off.
A fairly obedient audience at the end of a gig that is going to be quiet when we want them to shut up.
I can't think of any. They're all so lovely and loud. And I think if you suddenly told them to be quiet for a podcast, they'd probably just throw drinks at us. There are other questions that the audience ask us about Grinter Street.
Yeah.
One of them is, how do we prepare for a gig?
We do prepare.
Do we?
I'll take a week off work to practice because I worry about it so much.
We're in the van and you've linked your phone to the van and you're playing it for me. That's probably one of the first times I've heard it. Well, I've sat and listened properly to it. If it's one that I, sort of new. One day like this, Elbow.
Yeah.
Okay. We actually got told that, shout out to Ian and Deb, happily
Yeah,
married,
it
who
was-
played
it
your
was-
wedding.
Deb that said that.
Deb said we played it better than Elbow. So I was really pleased with that. Because I don't think I'd actually, apart from the riff at the start, I played that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only practice I did for that song. I think one of the joys of working with Ruby G,
Here I am.
is he can do on the guitar what I do on the piano. And that's why this whole thing started, because a few years ago I realised I could play by ear. And man, it's helpful. But when we first jammed together, you literally were doing exactly what I did. And putting harmonies in, Ruben's instinct for harmonies is really good. Like, and it's really weird though, because I was trying to explain this to someone I was tuning for the other day. When I do harmonies, I'm listening, before it gets there in my head, I'm thinking, right, I'll put it a third above, or a fourth, or a fifth. Whereas you just do it, but you do it instinctively, you think it'll sound good there. But we always end up hitting the same note anyway. When we're sitting in the van
Yeah.
listening to a song, the cat's coming. Do you think that's a problem?
No.
Just remember it's in here because it's going to be under the pianos and I'll get in trouble. Even if there's silence in the van and we just listen to the radio, we'll literally just bang in on exactly the same note, exactly the same time. That's one of those, I can't even describe it. It's like telepathy. No, it's almost like we've joined at the hip. It's great.
Both equally
Like twins.
annoying. Probably on the first gig, you probably had to turn around, stop playing and say, I'm going to stop in 4 seconds. And it's got to a point now where especially when you're playing piano in front of a mirror, which is quite convenient at the Ingate pub.
It is really helpful.
I can just see a little nod at the corner of my eye, and I know exactly when you're going to stop, and that does help.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, do we have any more questions that we want to talk about?
I was going to test our telepathy.
Oh,
God. Test it just right now. Go on. No. Just don't overthink it. Think of a fruit in 3, 2, 1. Banana. Okay, well. So that's evidence of how great we are at reading each other.
You're always thinking about bananas.
Think of a city in 3, 2, 1.
Dubai.
London. Oh.
That's not even a city. I'm actually better at geography than that. Favourite dinosaur? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor. Triceratops! Oh, that's really sweet though, you know. That's Ruby's nature all over, is the fact he chose a herbivore.
Do you need to go?
Yeah. We'll wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. We don't have an end sequence.
Yeah, we do.
We don't really have much at all, do we?
Yeah.
Do we have a theme song?
No, but there's buttons on that.
You got a beat maker on there.
Well, let's say goodbye.
Let's say goodbye for now.
We'll see you at the next gig, which is on the 16th of March at the Ingate Pub in Beccles. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please let us know. It's our first one, so go easy with the comments, man. Hey.
Be nice to us.
You guys, we're trying hard.
They can bully us a little bit.
They can. Tell us what you think you want to see more of. Sorry. Right, we're going to go now. Bye.
You're just as bad as me.